Why is everything so confusing?
I study for hours, but nothing makes sense. Am I the only one struggling like this?
Welcome to NeuroNectar, where science finally makes sense.
Welcome to an introduction to the fascinating world of the cell and its history. Let's start by defining what a cell is and why it's so important. Cells are the smallest living, structural, and functional units of an organism. Because a cell can replicate and sustain itself, it is known as the fundamental building block of life. Our understanding of this microscopic world began centuries ago with key discoveries. In 1665, Robert Hooke first discovered and coined the term cell by observing dead cork cells under a microscope. Soon after, Anton van Leeuwenhoek became the first to observe a living cell. Later, in 1883, Robert Brown discovered the nucleus, the cell's control center. These discoveries culminated in the foundational biological concept known as the cell theory. The cell theory, proposed by scientists Schleiden and Schwann, contains three key tenets. First, all living organisms are made of cells. Second, cells are the basic building blocks of life. And third, every new cell develops from a pre-existing cell. Today, we divide all cells into two broad categories: prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic cells, like bacteria, are primitive unicellular organisms. They range from 0.2 to 2 micrometers in size and lack a nucleus or membrane-enclosed organelles. Eukaryotic cells, found in plants and animals, are much larger, ranging from 10 to 100 micrometers. They feature a defined nucleus, along with specialized parts called organelles. The word organelle literally means little organ, and each has a highly unique job to perform within the cell. Now let's focus on the eukaryotic cell structure, focusing on the boundary and the floor. Let's explore the structure of a eukaryotic cell by imagining it as a highly organized city. First, we look at the outer boundary, the city wall, which is the plasma membrane. Observe the plasma membrane, a fluid, moving double layer of lipids with proteins floating within it. This membrane acts as a security gate, regulating what enters and exits the cell, which means it is selectively permeable. The plasma membrane is a phospholipid bilayer. It has water-loving heads facing outward and water-fearing tails facing inward. Its crucial role is maintaining the internal balance of the cell, known as homeostasis. Next, let's consider plant cells, which have an extra outer armor, the cell wall. Here we shift our view to a plant cell, highlighting its thick, rigid outer border. This cell wall is primarily made of cellulose, providing a rigid structure. The cell wall provides rigid shape, structural support, and protection against mechanical shocks. It is important to note that animal cells, unlike plant cells, never have a cell wall. Now let's move inside the cell boundary to explore the cytoplasm, or the factory floor. Diving inside the plasma membrane, we see the jelly-like fluid that fills the cell. The cytoplasm is this jelly-like fluid where all the various organelles are suspended. This cytoplasm acts as the factory floor where essential metabolic work happens. Now we will take an in-depth look at the control center of the eukaryotic cell, the nucleus. The nucleus is often considered the quote, brain of the cell, dictating its activities and housing its most precious cargo. Visualize the camera approaching a large, glowing, spherical structure in the center of the cell, covered in tiny pores. This is the nucleus. At the heart of the cellular city is the boss's headquarters, the nucleus. The nucleus dictates what the cell will do and exactly how it will do it. This is because the nucleus houses the cell's genetic material, DNA. During most of the cell's life, this DNA is in a tangled, spread-out form known as chromatin. When the cell is ready to divide, the chromatin condenses into distinct, visible chromosomes. Now let's explore a vital structure found deep inside the nucleus, the nucleolus. Moving deep inside the nucleus, we find a dense, dark spot. This is the nucleolus. This dense structure is an exclusive factory with one essential job: manufacturing ribosomes. Once made, these ribosomes leave the nucleus to begin their vital work in the cell's cytoplasm. The nucleus and its structures are truly central to the life and function of the cell. The nucleus is the cell's control center, housing DNA, directing operations, and manufacturing the essential components for protein synthesis. A vital role in every living cell. Let's begin another journey about the ribosomes, often called the cell's workers and protein factories. Ribosomes read the genetic instructions, known as mRNA, and link amino acids together to synthesize proteins, much like assembling Lego bricks according to a blueprint. Ribosomes are versatile. They can wander freely in the cytoplasm or attach themselves to our next crucial organelle, the endoplasmic reticulum, or ER. The endoplasmic reticulum, or ER, acts as a critical membrane-enclosed passageway and factory for the cell. The rough ER is aptly named because it's studded with ribosomes. Under a microscope, these attachments give it a rough appearance, making it the primary entry point for newly synthesized proteins. Once proteins arrive, the rough ER receives these raw components, folds them into their specific 3D functional shapes, and begins any necessary modifications. The smooth ER, lacking ribosomes, focuses on synthesizing vital non-protein molecules like lipids, carbohydrates, and steroid hormones. In addition to synthesis, the smooth ER also plays a critical role in helping the cell detoxify harmful substances, maintaining a clean and safe environment. Next, proteins are sent to the Golgi Apparatus, which functions as the cell's post office for final sorting and shipping. Proteins emerge from the ER inside small membrane packages called vesicles, which then travel to the stacked, flattened pouches of the Golgi body. As proteins move through the Golgi, they are customized into their final usable shapes. This often involves adding lipids or carbohydrates to them. Finally, the Golgi packages these finished products into new vesicles, ready to be shipped to their targeted destinations, whether inside or outside the cell. Now we will begin with an exploration of the fundamental parts of a cell, focusing on the essential roles of power, cleanup, and storage. Cells function like tiny factories, each organelle playing a vital role in maintaining life and efficiency. Just like any successful operation, a cell needs a steady power source, a system for waste management, and effective storage. None of these factories could run without power. Enter the mitochondrion. The mitochondrion is the powerhouse of both plant and animal cells. Through a process called cellular respiration, mitochondria break down glucose and oxygen to make ATP molecules, providing the energy for all cellular activities. Mitochondria are highly unique. They feature a folded inner membrane called cristae, and they have their own circular DNA that is inherited entirely from the mother. Next, let's look at the cell's waste management system, the lysosome. For waste management, the cell uses lysosomes, known as the garbage collectors. These vesicles are filled with hydrolytic enzymes that break down cellular debris and worn-out cell parts. If a cell is damaged or infected, lysosomes can burst and digest the entire cell, a process called apoptosis, which earns them the nickname suicidal bags. Finally, the cell relies on vacuoles for storage. Vacuoles are sac-like structures that act as storage bubbles for water, nutrients, and waste. These organelles ensure the cell has reserves of essential materials and a safe place for waste until disposal. Note the difference. In plant cells, there is typically one massive central vacuole for water storage, whereas animal cells have smaller, scattered vacuoles. By managing power, cleanup, and storage, these three organelles ensure the cell runs smoothly and efficiently. Mitochondria provide power, lysosomes manage cleanup, and vacuoles handle storage. Now we will study the fascinating intricacies within and around the cell, focusing on structure, movement, and the unique features of plant cells. Cells are the fundamental units of life, possessing complex internal structures that maintain shape, facilitate movement, and perform specialized functions, especially in plants. Today, we'll delve into the internal architecture that gives the cell its shape and the external structures that enable motion. First, let's look at the cell's internal structural framework, known as the cytoskeleton. The cell maintains its shape through this structural framework, the cytoskeleton, a continuous network running throughout the cytoplasm. This network consists of thread-like microfilaments made of protein and thin hollow tubes called microtubules. The cytoskeleton provides crucial mechanical resistance against deformation and also aids in overall cell motility. Beyond internal structure, some cells also feature unique external structures specifically designed for movement. Cilia are microscopic, hair-like projections that move in waves. They famously line the human respiratory tract to trap and expel inhaled particles. Flagella are longer whip-like tails that propel a cell forward, a great example being the tail of a human sperm cell. Finally, let's look at organelles exclusive to plant cells, known as plastids. The most famous plastid is the chloroplast, which contains the green pigment chlorophyll. Chloroplasts act like solar panels, capturing sunlight for energy through photosynthesis. Other plastids include chromoplasts, which give flowers and fruits their vibrant yellow, orange, and red colors. And finally, leucoplasts are colorless and serve to store essential nutrients like carbohydrates and proteins. From the structural support of the cytoskeleton to the specialized movements enabled by cilia and flagella, and the unique energy production and storage in plant plastids, the cell is truly a marvel of biological engineering. The cell's complex structure allows it to maintain its form and function, facilitating all life processes. Welcome to the conclusion of our journey into the microscopic world. This is the cell, a city of life. We'll begin with a rapid visual recap of the intricate structures we've explored. Imagine the camera pulling back, zooming out from the detailed close-ups of individual organelles we've just studied. The view transitions to show the entire busy cell, a bustling, coordinated environment where every component is actively working. Finally, we zoom back out completely, transitioning from the single cell to the complex system of the human body it helps comprise. Now let's summarize the distinct, vital roles of the main components we've encountered. We start with the protective walls of the plasma membrane, acting as the cell's essential barrier and gatekeeper. Next is the brilliant command of the nucleus, housing the cell's DNA and directing all cellular activities. And who can forget the tireless energy of the mitochondria, the cell's power generators, providing the fuel needed for life. From these major players to every smaller component, every organelle plays a distinct, vital role in the cell's operation. It's the synergy between these organelles that underscores the cell's profound importance. Working together in perfect harmony, they ensure the survival, growth, and reproduction of the entire organism. The cell isn't just a microscopic blob. It is a bustling, highly advanced city of life.